subscribe and welcome to this very short video in which I want to present you one of my EDC everyday carry configuration. The EDC is depending on many factors. So when I'm choosing the items, I must see where I am, which kind of environment, non-permissive environment, semi-permissive environment, permissive environment, what dress code I have, what type of activities I am doing, and based on this I identify the right tools and items to carry. So if I have these items, I must have in my mind for which purpose I will use them. Safety and security, we are talking about fire weapons, blades and other weapons that can provide me the security, my safety in a violent type of encounter. Trauma medicine, the items that I will need to be able to maintain myself or others alive until the professional medical care is arriving, and so on. So this type of configuration that I will show you now, it's a configuration for a semi-permissive environment. I know the fire weapon is remaining, when we talk about safety and security, the superior weapon. We understand this. But there are many countries, especially in Europe, where civilians are not allowed to carry fire weapons. So we must find other ways in which a normal civilian can protect his life and the ones around if they are in a violent type of encounter. So when I'm talking about semi-permissive environment, means that the legislation in the country where you are living, it's allowing you, for example, to carry a blade, it's allowing you to carry a pepper spray or other tools that can provide you a level of protection. So based on a semi-permissive environment and based on this dress code, basically I have a shirt that is concealing some of my tools, and this is a very important element when you are carrying, doesn't matter what, a blade, a fire weapon, other kind of tools for providing safety and security in a violent encounter, conceal them, because that will give you the element of surprise. You don't want, for example, to carry a folding knife in the right pocket with a clip outside that everyone is able to identify that you carry a weapon, even a bad guy. So concealment is very important. So a normal t-shirt and some pants that they are having some cargo pockets. I start first with the safety and security items. So basically what I'm carrying in this moment, in this configuration, for protecting myself or others in a violent encounter. And I will start first with the non-lethal item. So basically I don't have in this configuration a fire weapon, but what I'm carrying is the Guardian Angel. This is the Guardian Angel 4. It's basically a pepper spray made in the shape of a subcompact gun, so I can catch it in the same way. I have a safety here, I'm putting the finger. I have also sights, so I can aim if I'm deploying my pepper spray. Very good, it's tested, I was testing it, so it's functioning, it has a lot of effect when we talk about non-lethal type of means. I am carrying using a holster from Black Trident. They are making these special holsters for this type of non-lethal weapons. I'm carrying it in the appendix position, so it's the same like a fire weapon. When I'm carrying fire weapons, I will carry in the appendix position concealed, so it's the same method. I am deploying from the same position without changing nothing. So basically when I'm training with a fire weapon, when I'm training to deploy this tool, is the same mechanic for the boat. So I'm not putting my brain to learn more activities. I'm making the same movement, deploying and using this tool. Very fast to deploy. The difference and why I'm liking this type of configuration of pfeffer gun, for example, with a holster, is that it's very fast. If I have a normal pfeffer spray and I put it in my pocket, or even if I have a holster in the lateral, I must take the shirt outside, take the pfeffer spray and use it. It will be more slower than this, because I was also training myself to deploy it faster from this position, and it's a very, very good tool when we talk about non-lethal means. The next item when I talk about safety and security, it's a lethal one, of course, it's deadly, and it's a blade. This is my Clovis model from Beyond Knives. It's a custom knife, it's a very good EDC blade. You can use it also for other kind of activities, but also for combat. Basically, when I'm carrying a knife, for self-defense or for using in a particular situation, if I will be in that scenario, that blade is remaining only with that function. I'm not, I don't know, cutting boxes, cutting I don't know what other things. That blade is remaining sharp and ready. Yeah, so I am carrying in the appendix position also, but in the other side. Why in the other side? Because I need, for example, if I am not now in a situation that requires use of deadly force, and I take it gradually, I will let my non-lethal mean on the strong hand, so I can use basically this first. And if the situation is advancing to a bad type of scenario, I can deploy my blade from the appendix position, but from the left side. The same if I am having, imagine that if I have my fire weapon, the real fire weapon, and I am engaged in different kind of situations, and now I have a retention on my weapon, on my hand with the weapon, because the weapon, it will be on the strong side every time, the fire weapon, and I have a retention. Every time my blade, it will be in the left side, so I will be able to access it with the left side to create the space and distance, so I can use again my fire weapon. Maybe I have an incident, a double feed, other kind of incidents, and I cannot use in that moment. I have also retention on the weapon, and I must use another tool to create that distance. So for self-protection, I have, again I repeat, non-lethal mean, the Guardian Angel Pfeffer's gun, and the blade from Beyond Knives. These are for this section. Now if we are passing further, the other important element, because you can make a very big configuration when you talk about EDC, you can carry many things, but I am showing the important things that I would advise you to carry. The other important thing when we talk about EDC, but an EDC that it's adapted to this mentality of violent encounters, of course. And not only this, but not all the time it's about combat situations, because the idea of being in a combat situation to use your fire weapon, your blades or other kind of tools, the chances that you will be in this situation are very low. But very big are the chances in which you must, for example, use some trauma medical skills, basic skills, to provide medical care to yourself or to the others around you in different kind of accidents, not only in a violent encounter. It can be a work accident, a car accident, many type of situations where you possible to have a massive bleeding, it's possible to have an open pneumothorax, an open chest wound, or other kind of situations, and you must have the knowledge and the tools to maintain that victim alive until the paramedics, until the professional medical care is arriving, or yourself, yeah. And of course, also if you are in a violent encounter, we are talking about injuries, stabbing injuries, gunshot wounds, and so on. So for this reason, the trauma medical section or element in an EDC is very important. So based on my dress code now, I was saying to you that I have some pants with cargo pockets, lateral pockets. I have my trauma medical kit split in two sections. On the right side I have the massive bleeding equipment, and on the left side, in the left pocket, I have the tools that I need for respiration. If we take the march, is a more complex discussion, of course, for the ones that are following my videos and so on. The march is an algorithm that helps us provide medical care in the order that injuries are killing. For example, M from massive bleeding, A from airway, R from respiration, C from circulation, H from head injury or hypothermia. So basically I have in the right pocket the massive bleeding, in the left side for respiration I have chest seals and needle decompression kit for tension pneumothorax. Like this, I am also training. So all the time my brain programs and knows where are my tools. I'm not carrying today here the hemostatic gauze and the tourniquet, and tomorrow at the back or I don't know where. Every time the tools must be arranged in the same place, so it will be much simpler. It will become an automatic thing to take it from there without processing the information. Because in a real situation, when the adrenaline is rushing in your body, the heartbeats are increasing, the respiration is increasing, it's appearing the tunnel vision, blood is redirected to big groups of muscle, your fine motor skills are not working the same like in a relaxed environment. And another thing is that the brain cannot anymore perform complex activities like in a relaxed environment. So this is the reason why you must train and have already in the same position, so it's becoming something automatically to take it from that position. So the first item that I use for massive bleeding is the tourniquet. This is a tourniquet from Rhino Rescue. I'm using their products, very good company, quality, price, perfect. What I am doing, I'm already preparing. The tourniquet is not anymore in the cover, in the plastic cover that is coming with, for the same reason what I was telling you earlier, very hard in stressful situation to put that down because the fine motor skills will not operate at the same level. The next thing is that the time strap, it's in the lateral. I don't cover with the windlass with the time strap. So this is already prepared in the lateral. And this is a very important tip. It's a personal thing, a hack that I recommend to you. The tip of the Velcro strap, I am bending it inside like this. Because if, for example, I'm in a situation in which I cannot use the both hands, this is blown up, the tendons, the nerves are very damaged and I cannot use anymore, it will help me to have a good grip on it and use this like a hanger to open my tourniquet to create a loop. If it will be until the end, it's very hard, not only for this tourniquet, all tourniquets, all they are having the same. Cat tourniquets, the softy white, it doesn't have a Velcro, so it's something else. If I'm letting like this, very hard to push with the fingers or to try to make it. But bending it inside, it will help me to open my tourniquet. I'm seeing a lot of methods like making like this. You don't want to bleed continuously from, let's say, a bronchial artery, a lot of blood spurting outside, and you stay to make these movements to open your tourniquet because time is the biggest enemy. So I am using this type of hack, opening it. Also, after I am opening it and I'm coming up high and tight, I have here this that is functioning like a handle. I have a good grip, so immediately I can catch it very good and apply it on my hand. I'm coming around and I'm beginning to twist the windlass until the massive bleeding is stopped. I'm passing the Velcro strap and then I'm putting the time strap. So it will help you to have better control on the tourniquet and reduce the time in which you can apply a tourniquet. The second item that I have in my right pocket for massive bleeding is the Ketosan. It's a gauze, basically a compressed gauze that is impregnated with a chemical hemostatic agent that helps to clot the blood much faster. So this is especially for the situation in which we have a gunshot wound or other type of injuries, but that are located, they are placed in junctional areas where I cannot apply a tourniquet. A tourniquet I can apply it only on the extremities, hands, legs. If I have, for example, an injury that is in the armpits, or inguinal area, then I must make a wound packing and I can use a hemostatic gauze. This is also from Rhino Rescue. All the materials that I'm using, the trauma medical supplies, are from Rhino Rescue. In the left pocket, I am keeping the medical items that I need for respiration. If you remember the March algorithm, air stands for respiration. So basically, I have the chest seals, and this I can use when I have an open chest wound or sucking chest wound, how it's also calling. More simple, imagine a stab with a knife towards the thoracic box or a gunshot wound. Basically what is happening, that bullet or that knife, it's penetrating in the thoracic box and it's penetrating also the pleura being the space between the lungs and the thoracic box. So there it will enter air when the victim is breathing from outside, inside, and it's building more and more air, and that will create pressure in time, and the open pneumothorax can advance in a tension pneumothorax that basically is deadly. It will put pressure on the heart, it will collapse the lung, it will put pressure on the main blood vessels near the heart. So it's a very bad situation. So whenever we have an open chest wound, we apply a chest seal on that wound, checking also on the back of the victim, maybe it's having also an exit wound, not only an entry wound, and we plug the hole. These are medical type of information. I have many videos in which I am talking about these procedures. Here I am showing you only the tools that I am carrying, the items. The last thing that I have, it's a tension pneumothorax needle decompression kit. This is also from Rhino Rescue. Basically, when an open pneumothorax is developing in a tension pneumothorax, we need to release that air. Here it's a big needle, and the procedure is more complex. For the ones that they are interested, like information, you can check the YouTube channel. I have some materials there. This you must carry, and you must make this procedure not because you see a YouTube video, because this is an invasive type of medical procedure, and you are allowed to make this only if you have the qualification. If you are not having the qualification from this, don't carry it, and especially don't do it. So this was the EDC configuration that I was wanted to present you today, touching these critical elements: security, self-protection, and the trauma medicine. You can put other items, of course, but these are critical elements.